Here I am in the aspen groves. I was looking up the spiritual properties of aspen since I'm surrounded by them. I'm speaking about overcoming fears, for one thing. And also the natives used the aspen as medicine, healing. And also because the aspen are interconnected. You know, they say there's actually in a grove just one aspen that are all connected by the roots together. So they really work as a community, as a family unit. And so being amongst the aspen is causing me to reflect on community and family and working together as a tribe, which really, let's face it, at this time in reality, it couldn't be a more crucial time to figure out who your people are and gather up, team up, and begin to build something incredible that allows us to kind of de-emphasize the crumbling structures, right? Because it really, if you look out into the world as we knew it, it doesn't really feel like it's there anymore, right? In a lot of ways it's not. And that can be a little bit, uneasy making for many of us. And that fear can come up where we're uncertain. And then if we go into that too much, that can become projected outward, where we start to become afraid of what other people are doing or not doing. And this is when we start policing each other and all of that. So instead of going that way, I feel the aspen reminding me of what I was already sensing, what we've talked about in other videos, but this time to come together with like minds and to join forces and to create magic and make music and laugh and explore, and to recognize, as was brought to my attention recently, that time is, it's not. Time is not. Time has always been an illusion, a tracking, an attempt to track situations, circumstances, the day. But the more we surrender into our timeless nature, the more we just kind of let go and allow life to, synchronize with us to synchronize with life, where we recognize we are creators and we're in creation mode, and we are, co-creating together, and nature is speaking to us as we're interacting with nature. Time becomes very much more blurry. We're even noting like temperature numbers and time on the clock. They're just, even dates on the calendar seeming less and less important, and also potent, less and less energy behind them as we fade back into what is real. I don't know if you can hear, but there's some cicadas out here. The wind has actually calmed down quite a bit since I started this. It's a beautiful, beautiful little spot here. I also want to, with these trees, just reach up to the sky. And you can feel like how the trees are antennas, right? They're helping bring down this cosmic energy that we are getting flooded with. We can be like the tree. Reach up and imagine bringing that life force in. I was hiking yesterday with my family and my oldest. We're at above 10,000 feet, so it's can be a bit strenuous. And he started feeling like lightheaded and unable to walk for the moment. And the thought hit me to just look out at the expanse of nature, and really where we were hiking was an incredible vista. You could see for miles and miles and miles of just forest and beauty and red rocks. And there was a gust of wind similar to now coming up through. And I just thought, we're not alone here. It's not just up to this little tiny organism, this body that's pumping oxygen through these little lungs. That it's really not just that. It's really not just this individuation. We are connected to something so much bigger that's also us. You know, this landscape is also me. It's also you. And so when I breathe, when I get excited, the wind picks up. And if we can know that nature is part of us, it's an extension of us, and we can communicate and we can receive an updialing in our energy and an expansion of our mind by being in it, then somehow we have access to power way beyond any system or structure we've ever been educated in or programmed in or relied upon. We access the true structure of this reality that is Gaia, that is us. And so I guess that's the message from the tops of the mountains here in Utah, is to dial back into that. And so let this message be a transmission from the tops of the mountains, from the tops of the peaks and the aspens, to reconnect to not only the community of people that are like minds, that you feel magnetized toward at this time. This is important. But also to get out into nature and connect in to all the elements as the self, not as a separate entity, not as even just in awe. Sometimes I find myself just in awe of the beauty, but I still feel it's out there. But when we can know it and feel it as part of us, then suddenly we have no limits to our power, no limits to what we can do within us, to the healing that can occur, to the insights we can gather, to the empathy that begins to ignite between us, that helps us regulate our communication, our speech, right? Because if we're tuned in to the wholeness, then it becomes, you know, like if we're listening, easier to know what I should and shouldn't say right now. What is the appropriate action in this particular circumstance to benefit the whole? And it becomes less about a thinking mind and more just a feeling, a spontaneous happening. So, with that, let's give you a little bit of view of the beauty. We'll see you next time.